Iruvar was beautiful, and there's a lot more to go with that. But the bond changed with Guru, and then of course Abhishek and me came together also through that, and we hung out more during Guru because they had hung out a lot during Yuva. Which for me was this whole hanging out with Mani Garu I was like, really?
You know his film dialogues, they're very short. His messages are shorter. So it'll be like PS, this sometimes. PS, this. So I'm a very visual person. So I always think, Mani sir standing and telling PS. Then I come on this side only, thank you sir. And when he says, no, thumbs up, I'm like, thank you sir, cheers.
He's a charmer. And it's not only for the women, even the men, he charms the men. His message will be very simple, but he'll sell you anything. He can sell ice to an Eskimo. He's that kind of a man. He can sell idlis to a Tamilan. It's like that.
Hi and welcome to ETimes.
Hi, thank you so much.
Some of y'all must have seen me walking here and there because I had too much of energy. I don't know how I'm going to handle 7 of y'all in one go. And I was just like, okay, now my turn. Okay.
No, we are a very sober lot, so don't worry.
For sure. Okay. Now, y'all are we've worked with before Mani Ratnam. So my first question to all of y'all is, what is your first reaction when Mani Ratnam, the name flashes on your phone? What is that reaction?
So exciting. For me, it's always
First of all, it doesn't flash. He never calls us. Probably he might call Ram or so. For me, it's only messages will come.
Yeah.
And I'm saved as M. So the M pops up 1 second. I still have the jerk because from being an AD, no, I get a message only when something is wrong or something has to be done. So that M popping is one.
Okay.
Like without a vibrator, it vibrates.
sweet. Sir had texted me only a couple of times, but he has said very, very good things. And I have a problem texting people I adore. Like, I don't know what to say. So
You don't reply.
I reply. But I'm worried, what if he doesn't reply to something I ask, so I don't ask anything. But I love him, I respect him a lot, so anytime I get any message from him, it's amazing, it's good.
Okay, Trisha?
The reaction is very similar, like Mani sir, but we have exchanged a lot. He's called me a couple of times and his texts will be, they're so warm. Mani sir is a man of very few words.
Yes.
So, you know, when he says something, you know, it's very from the heart. You know, it's very real. And it's so encouraging. And then, especially during release, I was sending him memes and stuff because he's not on social media. So he had a good laugh with a few of them. So it's very personal and it's very cherished to me because he's not that person on the outside.
For me, Mani sir, I think you want to know the first call you get regarding the movie. It's like New Year's Eve. Like you have the firecrackers going in your head. That's what happens. But every time Mani sir calls or messages, it's always nice. He's a charmer. Absolutely. And it's not only for the women. Even the men, he charms the men. His message will be very simple. But he'll sell you anything. He can sell ice to an Eskimo. He's that kind of a man. He can sell fur to a bear. He can sell idlis to a Tamilan. It's like that. So his messages are amazing and his calls are even more amazing. And I mean, it's that first call after a long time and you know he's starting a film. I think that's like, that call will ruin your sleep for the next 2 months. That's all.
So for how many films has he ruined your sleep, Aishwarya?
No, never, no. It's very, you know, when you ask a question like that, I can only go back to the first film. When I got called for Iruvar, which wasn't even directly, it was through Rajiv Menon. So he was like, go, your favorite, go. You know, and I was like, at that point, you know, just, I was, there were a lot of like, even whatever, enquiries or offers, as you call it, from the Hindi industry. Actually, even before I went for the Miss World. In fact, then I just went for the pageant and that postponed it by a year. So it's not that through the pageant I came into movies. I was discussing with directors. So it was during the course of that year, Rajiv and me were very close because we had done advertising work together. And just the kind of person he is part of the family already. He had introduced Roja's music to me, the movie. He sings a lot. So I was completely like, you know, my God, and I was already an avid fan of Mani Garu's work. And then he said, go. And I didn't believe him. He said, go, you're being called to Chennai. I was like, what nonsense, what rubbish, no way. So it was like that very, the excitement that even till date everybody goes through because it's beautiful, there's an uncertainty. And he'll never directly, I don't know if that's what has happened with you all. So Iruvar was beautiful and there's a lot more to go with that. But the kind of, the bond changed with Guru. And then of course Abhishek and me came together also through that. And then I became Kanna and he became Maple. That started happening through post Guru. And we hung out more during Guru because they had hung out a lot during Yuva. Which was, hanging out, see, Karthi is laughing. You see, so you're partying a lot, which for me was this whole hanging out with Manigaru I was like, really? This whole hanging out happens and oh my God, did they hang out? Okay, and then so that same vibe, you've come into Guru and now you're making a movie like Guru and parallelly, nobody would dream that the hanging out is still going on. Okay, during the making of Guru as well, which was a completely different, new, re-establishment, it was just a different growth and evolution of our relationship, which has just grown deeper and more beautiful. It's just very, very, it's a very special bond that I share with Manigaru. And we got to do Ravanan, very intense film. So it kept growing. But each time, when it comes to, I can't remember whether it's a call or a message, but I know it to be a very subtle, ready? And that whole ready and you're like, no, seriously? Like real? Are you really, is this about, are we really talking about a movie? Yeah. You think? I'll tell you idea, but be sure recently though he said, on this movie, he was like, don't just say yes. I said, for you, of course. Before I even hear the film, I'd be like, of course. He'd be like, no, don't make it about that. Hear it. Feel it. Be sure that this is the character also you want to essay. I said, firstly, but it is a yes, not because you're, of course it is because you're Garu, but not, again at the same time, you just know, as an artist, you just know this is going to be such a special experience working on a movie with him. It's not about the length of a character, which I had and I'm so glad I had that lesson on my first movie with him. Because he just said, this is not your launch movie. When you're doing Iruvar, and there was that whole talk about launch, and in the Hindi industry, they were like, you're really going to go and do your first film, and I was like, what is this? But nobody does a South film or a Hindi, you're just doing a movie with a filmmaker, right? And that conviction only grew with every experience working with him. Even when he spoke to me about Guru, he gave the narration and he said, this is the character of Suju. So, it's not all about you, but you come out, it is about each and every one. It doesn't matter about screen time, it doesn't matter. When you're working with Mani, it's going to be such a special film and the characters are memorable, period. So, you are saying yes out of, I will always say yes to him out of my bhakti almost. It's like, your Guru Bhakti, that is there. But at the same time, please, any artist will give an arm and leg and joyously, happily do cartwheels and backflips and everything, just to have the experience of working with him. It's a tremendous learning curve and a very, very satisfying experience. We keep saying learning and all of that growth, but it's so satisfying. You feel so good with what you've given to it, and when we view it ourselves, we are excited to watch this movie. We want to see PS2.
Actually,
it's one of that.
Sobhita?
Sorry, you've gone on and on.
No, you spoke for all of us.
Absolutely.
I second that totally.
I still want to talk.
Absolutely, please.
Because it's a money, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's got his punchline ready. What can I say? You're the elephant or the horse?
No, I have nothing very deep to say, but I think when he messages, obviously it's very exciting. It's like an alert. But I have so much affection and wonder and awe, and sometimes words are not the right words to say. So I send him songs, which is very random.
Poems, yes. He's told me.
I just send him songs, and he's like, what?
And he writes poems. So sir told me recently, Sobhita sends him that.
No, those were not my poems.
Oh, yeah. He thinks you wrote them.
Oh, okay.
Jayam sir.
Ready?
Ready?
Do we have competition now?
No, nothing. I can't be serious and all. So I don't know why, but when he sends a message, like he never calls, everybody said, and his film dialogues. They're very short.
Yeah.
His messages are shorter. So it'll be like PS this sometimes. Or PS this. So I'm a very visual person. So I always think Mani sir standing and telling PS. Then I come this side and thank you sir. And when he says no thumbs up, I'm like thank you sir, cheers. And when he says when he sends no, that's it. No, I don't want. Only about appreciation we talk.
We are burning up.
Okay. Now to all the boys, how is your back now? How is your back now? Is it better?
We are back.
Ravi's on a roll.
Okay. Now Vikram sir, this is your second film with Aishwarya, with Mani sir also. Have you ever asked him why does he pair you with Aishwarya and doesn't let you stay with her?
The character.
And actually there were three, Ravan and Ravanan. So it's
That's
three
also-
because
yeah.
that you were playing two different roles.
The other guy doesn't get you.
To
That
stay
guy at
with
least
you.
dies. That guy lives and dies every day, knowing that you were thinking of the other child. I need to have a discussion with him or my psychologist, one of the two, my psychiatrist.
Okay. Now Trisha, my question to you is, so when I see you paired up with Aishwarya in PS1, I literally stood up like this. Okay, now this because the scene was prepped up so much in the promotions, and I was like, okay, now this is what I have to see, and it literally blew my mind off. So, okay, that there is actually a power struggle. You can see two formidable people coming together and clashing it up. So, what were you going through when you was doing that scene with Aishwarya?
Thankfully, we had a scene before that, so we had already broken the ice and chit-chatted and stuff. So that was okay,
Yeah.
like we were fine. The other thing with this particular scene was it's,
And we've met before also. It's not that we met for the first
Yeah.
time on
Correct,
set.
yeah.
So.
The thing is, in the book, this is like a legendary scene.
Yeah.
You know, and I still remember everybody. They were like, how many people were on set?
Yeah, there was
The
major
technicians.
excitement.
Everyone wanted to be there on that day because there were people scattered all around, you know, technicians, stylists, makeup people. This particular day, which we shot for maybe 1 or 2 days, because it's quite an elaborate scene coming on the elephant, she comes from there, and everybody just turned up. Like it was
Yeah.
our people standing there but there was a bit of pressure because the scene is so talked about in Kalki sir's novel, and then we had to somehow bring that out, and it's one of the most impactful scenes. Kind of sets the tone for the rest of the, you know, but then again, that's Mani sir's magic. So I had probably met him 4 or 5 times in Chennai to do readings for it. And so thankfully we were confident about the lines, about how he wanted it. And then I think when we shot, he just did 1 or 2 shots and we kind of, I must say, nailed it thanks to Mani
Yeah,
sir.
thanks to him.
Yeah, thanks to Mani sir.
Now, Karthi, your scenes with Aishwarya also, as how you got tongue-tied, we've got tongue-tied despite meeting her many times. Okay, many times you got tongue-tied. So, what was the reaction you got when you saw the film from general audience?
No, they were all enjoying the one-liners I was giving. Because they all felt like they were giving a one-line to Aishwarya Rai. They all felt and cheered like, this is what I wanted to do, no? That Ranjit even had that flavor. Like he can go and even speak to the princess and princess would say, I'll wait for you. So
Yeah.
all the boys would love to live that character and be there, you know, meet the Miss World and Miss India? Chennai. All the misses.
That's Miss India.
Oh
I
yeah,
get to see all of them, yes.
Waving like that.
No titles.
I think they complain.
for sure. You know, I was talking to someone who stays in Tamil Nadu yesterday who told me that apparently Ponniyin Selvan is a book which is... Selvan, okay. Is a book which students are referred to read when they're preparing for UPSC, IPSC exams. Have you heard about this?
We know, yeah.
Yeah, I
Of
heard
course,
about I heard
because of
about
the
this.
characters and multiple names and everything. It's a memory game kind of a thing.
I had no idea.
No?
But I really heard about
had
this.
no
I think
idea.
I read it somewhere.
I had no idea that this book is is referred to as if you want to crack UPSC, IPSC exam, read this. This is the first book you should read.
Yeah, it's
I thought it's more a traditional, like a
Even-
family interactive experience, no? Because I've heard so many families and, you know, the little kids also saying it's their grandparents, the parents who keep, you know, they
Generations
share
have read it.
and
passed
they
on.
read the book. It's
Yeah,
passed
that's what I
on and
thought.
it's cherished. It's very dear to heart,
Yeah.
True.
you know?
Now, Jayam sir, when you shoot a film for 120, 150 days at a stretch, do the actors get to know how the film is shaping up?
I know it day one. Because it's the vibe that matters. It's not about the shots. It's not about anything. So I don't like take two. All my shots were take one. So
Hey, hello. Yesterday you said 2 takes.
two takes is
So this is that
for
one.
technical reasons.
It's a technical reason. Loose tongue.
You're losing respect.
No, yeah, not at all, not at all.
No, I think nobody will know whether the film is going to work out. So what we know is that are we fine shooting it? Are we strong enough to take what is challenged to us? That's all we know. And if we take the challenge day by day, you're going to arrive there. So that's all I believe in. It's all is put for us, nothing more, I guess.
Okay. Now, Karthi, my question to you is: there's a video of the 4 of you all having a group hug from Bangalore. I want to know what all of you all felt through when he broke down on the set, on the stage.
We hugged, so we wouldn't break down. It was one of those
They're all
things.
hiding what was inside. We didn't expect. He was just smiling and talking, and suddenly he broke down.
Yeah.
I think it happened to any one of us in any one of these interviews anytime.
It just happened
It
with
just
her
happened
or with
on stage,
Aishwarya
that's
Lakshmi.
all.
It just happened.
She just-
I was like, suddenly she just broke down. She got so overwhelmed. I was like, oh my
That was
god.
camera. Now it
That's
is
why I'm
on
not able to
record.
understand. I told Anya. Suddenly she crying, suddenly she's laughing today. I don't know why. Anna, unka and the psychiatrist.
That was such a genuine, emotional moment. I think it came from the heart
Yeah.
first and then
5
the
The
tears.
love
years.
for Mani, sir,
5
the love
years.
for this film.
5 years almost together. So.
Yeah.
I think my last question to all of you all: how is it going to be the next day of the release? What are you going to feel the next day? Like once the film releases on 28th, what is it going to be the next?
Party. What else?
It's going to
Reviews.
last for a bit. It's not just going to stop on the
yeah,
next day.
yeah.
Because at least from the experience of the last
Yes,
one,
yeah.
oh my
There's
god.
going to be a flurry of
It's
SMSs
just going to
and
go.
messages and
Yeah, oh my
WhatsApp.
god.
Oh my
this
god,
is
did you see
coming.
this? Did you see
You
this?
just have to ask
That
us
happened,
very
this
soon. It's
happened. You know, so many
exciting.
people have come, blah, blah, blah.
And I think we are our biggest fans. Like I'm calling him, he's calling me, she's calling me, I'm calling her. So and then we must have seen about 4-5 shows together.
Wow.
So it goes on. I
It's
think
so
it'll-
nice to share the compliments that the other person has got it.
Yeah,
Like, you should have seen the scene
absolutely.
where how you were appreciated. Like I've sent him one big video of one girl gushing about Aditi Karikar. And I would call him and
sweet.
talk to him about the feedbacks that I've been getting about him.
Yeah.
This
We
time I'm
enjoyed
thinking.
that.
Sorry, sorry. Yes.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah, this time I'm thinking I will send Mani sir a text. Mani sir,
Why not send the video itself?
Do both.
Mani sir, Mani sir.
we should all do that.
We should do it.
Stand in a line, do
Yes.
this, and send it.
And the pop, tack, 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 tack. We'll time it like that. Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Thank you.